Welcome back to another class on Evean Hazaer Halacha series. Hopefully everyone had an amazing winter break. We are in Siman Aleph, in Halacha Yud, in Ot Zayin in the Pitchit Teshuvah. This will be part 10G of the Shiur. If you did not listen to part 10F, please do so. Because of that we had asked 3 questions. Today we're going to answer the second question. The second question that was asked over there was Umahu bichlal midina umidina. What's considered to be a country? Because we saw in the Bash in Ot Chav Gimel, the Kolbo brought down that you have to have 100 rabbis from 3 different countries, from 3 different congregations. When you're telling me right now that I have to have 100 rabbis from 3 different countries, what do you mean country? Define for me what's considered to be a country. So comes today's Pitchit Teshuvah and he says, Ve'odut mahu bichalal midina, and regarding what's considered to be a country, hine bikol bo'isa shalosh artzot kigon Irgon, Lombardia, v'Tzarfat. In Kolbo it says the 3 lands like Irgon, Lombardia, and Tzarfat. Vehem Gimel Malchuyot Mamash. These 3 countries are literally monarchies, which means to say that each one is run or ruled by a king or a queen. What's the Lombardia? Where can you find? Basically, it's Lombardy. Where can you find it? Be Italia in Italy. Irgon, where are you going to find? Argon, Bispania in Spain. Tzarfat, where are you going to find Tzarfat? You do, it's known. Tzarfat is France. So he wants to tell us over here that Argon, Lombardy, and France, there are 3 monarchies. They have kings ruling over them. This is considered to be a country. So whenever you're collecting 100 rabbis from 3 different countries, you want to collect from countries that have monarchies on them. Mikol Makom, nevertheless, nearly, he continues and he says, it seems to me, Im al yidei milchamot, if because of wars, nichnesu shaloshotan tachad memshelet melech echad, if because of wars they entered, meaning 3 of the countries, entered under one monarchy, meaning under one king that's going to rule 3 countries, va'atida Edom shiteshfot malchuta ted chadashim al kol haolam, and in the future, Edom, which is going to extend its kingship 9 months over the whole world. He says, look into Masechet Yoma in Daf Yud Amud Aleph. Not because of this, we're not going to agree to the permissibility of allowing him to go ahead and get signed by 100 rabbis from 3 different countries to be able to marry another woman. What are we saying over here right now? Comes the Kolbo, and the Kolbo says like this. Just because you have one kingship ruling different countries, it doesn't mean to say that they're one country. So therefore you can't use the rabbis from that country. No, you can have one king rule the whole world, but they're still considered to be separate countries. So therefore, if they're separate countries, you can go and take out the rabbis, the 100 rabbis that you need from each country, basically to get the number 100. But you might ask yourself one question. One second, but they're all under one dominant, they're all being ruled under one king. You're right. It doesn't matter. Just because they are all ruled under one king doesn't mean that I can no longer use the rabbis from those different countries just because they have one king. So what? So they have one king. Nevertheless, I'll be able to use 100 rabbis from 3 different countries that are being ruled by one king. So let's just do that one more time. Here we go. Mikol Makom, nevertheless, nearly seems to me, Im al yidei milchomot nichnesu sheloshatan tachad memshelet melech echad, if because of wars the 3 countries entered under one monarchy, under one king, and he's going to be the one that's going to rule over the 3 countries, And if this is the case, what's going to be in the future? In the future, Edom is going to rule over the whole world. So therefore what? Because of that, that's it. You have no more 3 countries. So therefore you could never allow a person to go ahead and get married to a second wife because he doesn't have 100 rabbis signing off because it's all one country. That doesn't make sense. And in the future, Edom is going to extend its kingship for 9 months over the whole world. So what, you can look at it as one country? No. Not because of this, just because you have one king over the whole world. We're not going to be able to agree to the permissibility of allowing him to get married, like we said above. No, we're going to allow him. Why? Because the king only influences the people in their opinion and how they think. But majority of the people of that country, they go after the rabbis of the country. One more time. The king is only able to influence how people think. However, when it comes to the majority of the people of the country, they don't follow after the king. They go after the rabbi of that country. If so, in our countries, Kigon Malchut Galicia, the kingdom of Galicia, Malchut Hagar, and the kingdom of Hungary, Malchut Osterich, and the kingdom of Austria, even though they are all under one monarchy, meaning under the Caesar, nevertheless, nevertheless, they're going to be considered to be 3 separate countries, and this is the minhag. Comes the Kolba and he tells you like this. What's considered to be a country unto itself? When there is a monarchy, a king or queen who is ruling over that country. What happens if you have the countries, they go under one rulership because of a milchama, because of war? No problem. They're still considered to be 3 separate countries. Why are they considered to be 3 separate countries? Because all the king has, he's able to go ahead and influence the people in how they think. But majority of the people don't follow what the king says. Majority of the people are going to follow what the rabbi of that country is going to tell them. So if that's the case, that means you have 3 separate countries, even though they're under one monarchy. And that's what he said over here. So if this is the case, he said, when you're dealing with the kingdom of Galicia and the kingdom of Hungary and the kingdom of Austria, even though all of them are under one monarchy, which was the Caesar, I guess, at the time, nevertheless, they're going to be considered to be 3 separate entities, and this is the minhag. And this what was written in the institution, that you need to have 100 rabbis from 3 different congregations. Excuse me, seemingly says it's simple, that since you need Gimel Artzot, since you need 3 countries, meaning 3 lands, like we just explained, Bevadai Gimel Kihilot, and for sure, they come out to be 3 congregations. If I'm telling you 3 countries, it must be 3 congregations from each country. Nearly la fuki shelo yimatze b'kihula achat anashim migimel artzot. So what does it come to teach me? That's very simple. What? If you're telling me right now that you need 100 men from 3 different countries, so then you're telling me if that's the case, so therefore I need from 3 different congregations in those countries. So what was he coming to tell me? That's simple. No, so he says that it seems to be that it's coming to exclude that you should not find in one congregation men from 3 countries. What happens right now, you have people that they came, let's say from Austria, from Hungary, and from Galicia, they all joined one congregation. Can you use these men as one of the people in order to sign off to allow the guy to get married to the second husband? Absolutely not. That we're not going to allow you. Dezelo mehani. That's not going to help you. Ela b'moshavoteihem lemekomatam. Rather, you need that they're settled in their own places. You need people that come from their own country, from their own congregation. Each thing in its own domain. Everything has to be separated. You cannot have, let's say, 40 people from 3 different countries right now in one congregation. That you cannot have. But one second, but they're from 3 different countries. Doesn't matter. Those 40 people, each one has to be in its own specific group in each different country.